question. First, Maayan Gordon, we're going to go to you. You are up with the legendary Colin O'Brady.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your incredible story. And I'm sure that that's, a small, tiny fraction of the many endless stories that make up kind of that timeline. I'm curious, this is a short two-part question, but have you ever set a Mount Everest goal and then partway through the goal determined that it was not challenging enough and lost some amount of interest? And if so, what did you do? But then also, do you have like a process once you've accomplished a Mount Everest goal for figuring out what the next one's going to be?
Yeah, no, it's a great question. I guess I haven't approached it from the same standpoint of, oh, I didn't set a high enough bar for myself. I guess my affliction is maybe sometimes I just, set the most ridiculous bar for myself. But I will say, it's easy, Scott's very kind, long introduction of my accolades or accomplishments or things like that to be like, oh, wow, this guy has 10 world records. He's done this, he's done that, like all these sorts of things. And I write about this in 12-Hour Walk. One of the chapters is all about failure. That this limiting belief is, I'm afraid to fail. And I have failed over and over and over and over again. Like I just shared you a couple of stories about like where it like worked out and I achieved the thing or whatever. But I've been on the back of many, many times where I've set goals and not achieved them, right? Not quite gotten there. I spent 25 years of my life trying to make the Olympics in 2 different sports and fell short in both. So multiple decades of my life's energy put towards something that I didn't quite achieve. I love to say, though, I think winners lose the most, meaning trying things, learning from them, evolving into them, I think really is a part of the process. So in terms of the question about what's my sort of frame on that, sometimes it just comes to me and I actually, there's a part in the 12-Hour Walk where I invite people to answer that question, what's your Everest? But then I caveat that and say, but there is a subset of people, a larger subset of people that go, but what if I don't know what my Everest is right in this moment? And I say, well, then use the 12-Hour Walk as an invitation to ask yourself that question. Quiet the noise in your mind, put your phone on airplane mode, take a day and actually be the purpose of the walk be my Mount Everest for this walk is to discover what my Mount Everest is. Because I fundamentally believe, and I write also in this book all about intuition and gut, that the big answers in our life, we actually know the answer already. It lives inside of us. We so often look externally for, oh, but what about this? Or this pros and cons. I have this big decision in my life. I need to make all these pros and all these cons and all this and go through it and ask a million people, whatever. And sometimes that's valuable. But I fundamentally believe that more often than not, we actually already know the answer to the big questions in our life. We just don't give ourselves enough time or freedom or trust and faith in ourselves to have that be the answer in the 12-Hour Walk. And I've seen this with so many people having completed the walk. So many people come back and been like, oh, I've been like pondering this question, but I only do it 10 minutes at a time. And then I get distracted and whatever. And then people really dive into the question around their Everest or their purpose or a goal in their life. And they find deep clarity by giving themselves the time and freedom to explore it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Love it.